You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
The greatest of all time.
Terence "Bud" Crawford made headlines after his stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez, and he didn't shy away from sending a bold message in Floyd Mayweather's direction. Crawford suggested that while he's not chasing Mayweather's record or fortune, he intends to build a legacy that could surpass what Floyd leaves behind. Naturally, Mayweather wasn't too pleased. He fired back in interviews, dismissing Crawford's win and reminding everyone why he still considers himself the greatest of all time. But this situation goes beyond a simple back and forth. It's turning into a battle over boxing's history and legacy. Crawford currently holds the pound-for-pound crown, while Mayweather boasts the flawless record, pay-per-view dominance, and unmatched star power. Their reputations seem destined to collide, and the debate over who truly deserves the top spot has officially begun. Let's break it down.
It's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he's moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
To understand why Crawford made those comments, we have to look back at what happened in Las Vegas. On September 13th, he stepped into the ring with Canelo Alvarez, a naturally bigger fighter competing 2 weight classes above him. Many doubters expected Crawford to fall short, but he proved them wrong. Not only did he outbox Canelo, he neutralized the size and strength disadvantage while landing the cleaner, more effective shots. With that victory, Crawford etched his name in history, becoming the first fighter ever to maintain a perfect record across 3 different weight divisions.
You said something about what fighters go through, and you've seen enough guys that the game is taken from. It's a hard game to get through. Can you get a better ending than tonight? I mean, really?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the top of the top. You know, Canelo is, you know, an all-time great. Like I said before, he's the last one.
He was the A side of the age.
There's no more Canelos, you know. There's no more. So, you know, when you look around, you say, I'm the Canelo, you know, I'm the face of boxing now. I'm the best pound for pound fighter in the world, like I've always been. You know,
This wasn't just another victory. It was history in the making. A moment that reshaped the conversation around boxing and elevated Crawford's name to an entirely new level.
Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing, so now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time, for sure.
After the Canelo fight, the conversation quickly shifted. Fans weren't just calling Crawford the best pound-for-pound fighter, they began asking if he might actually be better than Floyd Mayweather. That's when the tension really started. Mayweather built his entire brand on the belief that nobody could touch him, crafting the Money Mayweather persona around his unbeatable record and unmatched strategy. But with Crawford's brilliance on full display, some are beginning to question whether Floyd's legacy is truly untouchable.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating on? What are we rating on?
Okay,
Well, we're gonna know. In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
And that's why Crawford's words carried so much weight. He wasn't just taking aim at Floyd as a fighter. He was challenging the narrative Floyd had built over decades. By saying he'd raise Floyd's asterisk, Crawford was making it clear, this isn't about stepping into the ring with Mayweather. It's about rewriting the story. For years, Floyd controlled the script of his own career. He decided when to fight Pacquiao, when to take on De La Hoya, and even faced Canelo at a stage when the young star wasn't yet at his peak. Fans never really questioned Floyd's choices, because the results always worked in his favor. But Crawford's comments have pushed people to look at that history with fresh eyes.
all these fighters they doing the shoulder roll. You see, I mean, yeah, and not knocking the guys that paved the way. And I want to come on record and say I'm appreciative for guys like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. So many guys that paved the way for me. But there's only one Floyd Mayweather. These fighters are not better than me. You look at the numbers, they say, oh, Canelo may end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. Wait, he should? With almost, 80 and 90 fights, he should? I beat more world champions than any fighter in history. I'm 50-0, but half of my fights was world title fight.
But Crawford isn't like the others. For Bud, greatness means stepping up when the challenge is at its toughest. He didn't wait for Errol Spence to decline. He faced him at his absolute peak and dominated. And when it came to Canelo, Crawford didn't look for an easy path either. Canelo was considered the king of the super middleweight division, and Crawford took him head-on, handing him a decisive defeat.
How are you feeling to be Chris Eubank's trainer, first of all?
It feels good, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been this trainer before, so
Yeah, it's good.
it's a no-brainer.
Of course, congratulations on the win. What's your first reaction to Crawford's victory? One of the greats of this era, right?
Oh, definitely that. You know that.
What do you want to see him do now?
What I want to do now?
What do you want to see Crawford do next?
Do what he at this point now in his career where he can do whatever he want to do.
Who would you like to see him fight? Any names? Is there any names in particular you'd like to see?
It doesn't matter.
What about Canelo? Would you like to see him retire?
I don't. Canelo's not my responsibility.
At its core, Crawford's message was simple. I'm the fighter willing to take the risks you never did. And that, he believes, is what people will remember most when comparing his accomplishments to Mayweather's.
Were you so emotional afterward? Is it that you just realized everything that you achieved, the moment just hit you then?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just, you know, the history, you know, behind the sport is everything that, you know, I trained for my whole life. It all was, you know, coming out that one night. That was all paying off. You know, you have a lot of people that, you know, adopted this narrative that Terence Crawford can't sell, Terence Crawford is not marketable, you know, and they push the narrative to the public, and that's all people write about. Oh, Terence Crawford can't do this, Terence Crawford can't do that. But anyone in Terence Crawford fights, you see a sold out crowd, you know, but they wasn't talking about that. They was talking about how, you know, marketable I'm not, you know, and that kind of was hurting my career because, you know, a lot of people was looking at me and said, oh yeah, they said he's not marketable. Or they said he's not, you know, don't have a personality, things like that, because I didn't want to do things their way. I didn't want to put on a show. I didn't want to disrespect my opponents when they wasn't disrespecting me. I wasn't, you know, I'm not a guy that, you know, wear jewelry for no reason. You know, just the things that I didn't want to do that they wanted me to do. You know, they go out there and say, oh, well, they lost money on me. You know, it's just crazy though to see me headline, you know, the largest attending fight in American history.
For Crawford, legacy isn't just about staying undefeated. It's about who you fought, when you fought them, and how you proved yourself. From that perspective, he feels justified in challenging Mayweather's claim to the throne. Of course, Floyd wasn't about to stay silent. In classic Mayweather fashion, he downplayed Crawford's accomplishments. He argued that Canelo wasn't as great as people think, that Crawford's resume doesn't match his own, and that beating a few big names doesn't make someone the best ever. Floyd reminded everyone that he retired with a perfect 50-0 record, generated the biggest paydays in boxing history, and never allowed anyone to solve his style in the ring. From his point of view, Crawford isn't rewriting history. He's only standing in Floyd's shadow.
At the end of the day, I'll let you know, there's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
What stung the most was Mayweather's dismissal of Crawford, acting as if he posed no threat to his legacy at all. Floyd doubled down, saying, "When people talk about greatness, they talk about me. Crawford can't touch that." In other words, Mayweather framed himself as untouchable, claiming that his legacy can't be erased, only imitated. The crown, in his view, isn't something that can be taken.
Wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior welterweights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference.
But here's the truth. The fight over legacy is very real. Mayweather's reputation rests on perfection, a flawless 50-0 record, never being knocked down, and mastering the art of defense. On top of that, he became the king of pay-per-view, transforming boxing into a billion-dollar business and building a brand unlike anything the sport had ever seen. Crawford's legacy, on the other hand, is built on courage, the willingness to chase greatness no matter the risk. He's a 3-time undisputed champion across 5 divisions, and at 38 years old, he defeated both Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez in back-to-back fights. Fearless and composed, Crawford fights like a man fully in control of his destiny.
When I set my sights on doing something, and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe it. But for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in that a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. He wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, I think I was the better man.
At the heart of this legacy battle lies a clash of values: safety versus risk, building wealth versus chasing greatness, and fear versus courage.
The Crawford Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT, greatest all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul, Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. Everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence? Of course. Of course.
Floyd will always insist, "I was the smartest. I was the bravest." But Crawford's words struck a nerve. Because for Floyd, legacy matters even more than the money.
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15, easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know. But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo, definitely gave him the win.
Notice this: Floyd usually keeps his cool, but when he feels his legacy threatened, his tone changes. And right now, Crawford isn't just stacking up wins inside the ring; he's winning over the fans. He's sitting at the top of the pound-for-pound list, the same man who shocked the boxing world by defeating Canelo when almost nobody believed he could. Today, he's being spoken of as one of the greatest ever, not just by analysts, but by legends of the sport and even the new generation of fighters.
Let's name them. We gotta put the 5 up.
Who's 5?
Robinson is the Griff.
Who?
Sugar Ray Robinson. That's Griff.
I didn't even see that.
I YouTube them, nigga. I YouTube. He on YouTube. Check YouTube. Nah, it's like
it was buns.
Sugar Ray Robinson is buns. No, you're wild. We're not standing for that. It's like this. It's like this. It's like
Boxing has evolved, bro.
It has, but I'm saying.
And Sugar Ray Robinson didn't even know how to pick his hands up.
Hold up, it's like
watch
this.
him fight Jake LaMotta. He was hitting that nigga with non-stop hooks. Over and over.
But you're not counting like this. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain is not that. If you dominate in the era where you're doing shit that nobody does in the era, nobody was doing that.
Wilt Chamberlain, did they have a 3-point line?
No.
Oh, I don't want to hear about him.
He scored 100 points.
Doing
what? It don't matter what he did. 100 of these, nigga. 100 of these.
That's ass.
Nah, you gotta stop it.
That's ass.
On top of that, Crawford isn't just making headlines in the ring, he's moving numbers too. His Netflix showdown packed out the arena, went viral worldwide, and pulled in one of the biggest global audiences for a boxing event since the legendary Mayweather-Pacquiao clash.
This is the situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division. Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubt, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what happened.
That's the real reason Floyd fired back. Not because Crawford mocked him, but because Crawford has stepped into the spotlight on his own terms. Now Bud is the name headlining pound-for-pound lists, selling out pay-per-views and holding the center stage. For the first time since Mayweather's retirement, fans are seriously asking, is Crawford better? The twist is, Crawford doesn't even want to fight with Floyd. He's always respected him, trained alongside him, and credited him as one of boxing's greats. But Crawford never needed Mayweather's approval to validate his career. What he's doing now is about something deeper, telling the truth as he sees it. To him, greatness is measured by taking risks, facing danger head-on, and pushing boundaries, not just by never losing. Crawford also understands that fighting Floyd at this point adds nothing to his journey. Mayweather is almost 50, well past his prime, and a matchup wouldn't change legacies. Bud's reputation is already established, and the boxing world is buzzing with how he's redefining what it means to be great.
Also fight. Terence never let Canelo get into a rhythm. Terence never allowed Canelo to get anything going, and I didn't think he could do it for 12 rounds. I thought that the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for Canelo for that reason, but Terence was able to do it for 12 rounds, and in the later part of the fight, he kind of pushed the fight more than I think people expected, which is the mark of a superstar, man.
Supporters of Mayweather argue that numbers don't lie. His flawless record and unmatched pay-per-view success prove he's the greatest of all time. They believe those accomplishments will never be surpassed. On the other hand, many fans rally behind Crawford. To them, he represents the fearless fighter who takes on challenges that Mayweather never did, moving up in weight, facing the toughest names without hesitation, and proving himself again and again. That's why some call him the current pound-for-pound king, even labeling him the true Guy 080 of this generation. Commentators like Max Kellerman and other boxing voices have fueled the debate, noting that Crawford's willingness to embrace danger gives him an edge in areas where Floyd's career was more calculated. Of course, Mayweather isn't the type to step aside quietly when his legacy is questioned.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy.
Right now, I think Crawford is a little better than Mayweather, but Canelo.
Right now, the spotlight in boxing isn't really about Crawford versus Canelo. It's about Crawford versus Mayweather's legacy. That's the deeper battle playing out. Where does it go from here? Floyd will continue to downplay Crawford's resume, reminding everyone of his 50-0 record and emphasizing his claim to being untouchable. He'll likely keep pushing his narrative in interviews and appearances to stay in control of the conversation. But Crawford doesn't need to say much. His actions speak louder than words. At 38 years old, he just defeated Canelo Alvarez and etched his name in the history books, earning recognition as the current pound-for-pound #1.
I believe in building generational wealth. Even like with my children, all 4 of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money, I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that, and then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do.
That wraps up today's breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more boxing updates and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.